was like to grow up in Compton, some of the challenges you faced, and how would you describe just growing up in the Compton area?
Yeah, you ever listen to Straight Outta Compton album?
I have.
Way worse than that. It was way worse than that. It was hell, son. I mean, look, I grew up in Compton first 5 years of my life full time, and then from there I moved Slauson Edgemar, which was the edges of South Central Los Angeles. And I say the edges because you're right there in the midst of all the activity, the gang culture, and all the issues that come, drugs, adversity, lower ambition, but also close enough to see middle class, upper middle class environments, Ladera Heights, Windsor Hills, places like that, the Black Beverly Hills as they call them, the Dons. So it was an interesting dynamic that I never really calculated until I got older to be that close to a different condition, a different set of circumstances, but still be in the midst of what I was. Because every weekend I was in Compton, my grandmother and my mother, not only that relationship, but they were best friends. So we were always in Compton to the tune of missing school almost every Monday because of the party on Sunday night and the drive back usually was Monday morning, late school. But I tell you how it was. The most disturbing thing for me was just the lower ambition that people were, because of circumstance, because of whatever occurred in their realities, that they lowered their aim. They had jobs, not careers. I didn't hear a lot of professionals speak. I didn't hear a lot of people who had long-term goals. I didn't see people trying to thrive. I saw people trying to survive. And people on edge mentally, just snapping at anything and everything, just because they were on an emotional edge, because it's tough to make the ends meet. So I grew up on welfare, poor, and I was rich inside. I was rich in happiness. I was rich in stability. My parents were both in the home, so I was blessed and thankful. But there were a lot of moments where it was hell to pay just to be where you were.
For sure, and was I guess football was an escape from that. How did
Yeah, football was interesting. Like, it sounds so great and grand when you look back, but in the moment when I was 7, 8 years old, it was just the best thing I could do at the time. It wasn't. I didn't start playing football to make it pro. Matter of fact, I never even thought about the NFL. I didn't think the NFL was a real thing. Thought it was like a TV show of like all these old dudes that live somewhere in some other world. And my dad was a big Cowboys fan, but I never thought that me playing at Inglewood Park could turn into me playing on television, making my dad yell. I never calculated that when I first started playing football. I just did it because I was fast and I was fearless. I could outrun anybody my age easily. I start climbing up to 10-year-olds and racing teenagers and beating them. So I was super fast, and I wasn't scared of anything, like objects and stuff, like running into another dude or crashing into a car to catch a deep pass. Like, I was like, whatever. But I never calculated what that can mean in terms of opportunity. So I was great in school. I was eager to learn. I love just the whole process of learning, discovery. So I was a nerd that could run fast, that ended up playing football. It's just, that was my calculation. That was my recipe for success. So it didn't start off as an escape. It certainly gave me tremendous attributes, work ethic, a passion, something to focus on, something to take me away from that idle time of being in the streets. So football did a lot more for me than I did for football, but at the same time, a lot of that was unintended consequences. Nobody did that by design.
For sure, and I believe you were playing some running back as well. So
playing some running back, I was like top five running back.
Well,
Top five.
what I want to figure out as well here in this conversation is, how does Columbia come into the picture here?
Yeah.
And you didn't have offers like from big time schools? Or?
Yeah, I actually did, man. Now that's a calculated choice.
Okay.
So basically, my arc was, I started playing football at 8, running track at 8. Immediate success. Like, I was very good from day one, like a 4-star running back. But I was on a team with a 6-star. They don't even make 6 stars. But Stace Bozeman was a 6-star. He was so good that he skipped the next level to just play against greater competition. That good at age 8 or 9. So thank God he did, because if not, I would have been in his shadows for my entire career. But in his shadows. So it's funny. Then he leaves, and everyone discovers me, and I was next level. So I started to kill him. 4 or 5 touchdowns every game. Throw me the ball, sweep left, sweep right. Whatever you want to do, good luck to you. I'm getting recruited to go to high schools. I'm like a killer out there. And I go to the public school that everyone goes to in my neighborhood, Westchester High School. All of a sudden, I get hit with osgood slaughters, which is a knee issue that basically is a symptom of you're going through a growth spurt. But I went through a growth spurt for like 8 years. It wasn't just 1 year. So I was awkward, unathletic by my standards, a little frustrated by my athletic experience. So I'm doing that, running track, still good at both, but not great at either. Transfer schools and opened up my mind. I went to St. Monica's, a little more focused on academics than athletics, and it broadened my perspective. So when it was recruiting time, I still got recruited by big schools, but the game had changed for me mentally. I knew that football had already shown me its fickle card. Like, one day I'm here for you, one day I'm not. So since I saw football try to break up with me, drop me from being great to kind of good, I was like, I got something for you. So you ain't gonna dump me. So I'm going to a school with an academic reputation, a higher safety net, and prioritize my academics. So I went to Columbia.